Hello and welcome to Change Detectives. We're up to the gas bags lesson and we are doing an investigation and trying to find out what happens when combinations of water, sodium bicarbonate and tartaric acid are mixed. So for this investigation you will need the fizzing investigation sheet. It gives you the equipment and steps that you need to follow. You'll also need some bicarb soda, some tartaric acid, and 3 cups of water, non-acidic water, a measuring cup, and a teaspoon. I've used one of these special measuring spoons, and 4 pieces of paper towel. You also need some bottles, some transparent bottles. I've used these pop top bottles, which are really good. They're a bit smaller, though it says that you need 350 to 400 mils approximately, and I think these ones are only about 200 and something, 250 mils. So I've changed my quantities. You also need balloons and a labeling pen to write the labels on each bottle, a funnel, and some masking tape. Now I have already prepared each bottle with the ingredients that we need to put in them, just to make it a bit quicker. So here I have bottle 1, which needs to have bicarb soda and the tartaric acid. So I've included, it says in the instructions to include 2 scoops of the bicarb soda and 2 scoops of the acid. I've only included 1 scoop of each, just because I'm using a smaller bottle. So I have those 2 scoops, and I've used the funnel to put the powder into the balloon. So I just see if I can show you, if you would like to have a go at this yourself. If you put the funnel inside the balloon, then you can scoop and put your ingredients in here, and then once the ingredients are in there, you just carefully place the balloon over the rim of the bottle, making sure that the contents inside the balloon don't get emptied into the bottle just yet, because that will be a part of our investigation. So we have bottle 1 with the bicarb and the acid. Then we have bottle 2, which has bicarb in here. Once again, 1 scoop of bicarb, 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda in there, and we have about half a cup of water. So that's bottle 2. And then we have bottle 3, which has the acid in the balloon already, and half a cup of water. And the final one is bottle 4, and this one is going to have the bicarb soda, the acid and the water. Now I have the ingredients in my balloon here, which I've labelled with a 4. It's important to have everything labelled. So bottle 1 is labelled, bottle 2, bottle 3, bottle 4, and the balloons are labelled the same, just as 1, 2, 3 and 4. And this helps to just keep our investigation organised. Oops, and I've got a hole in my balloon. That's not very good, so I'm just going to put it into another one. Okay, so I'll just label it quickly, number 4, and I'm going to somehow just remove the contents from this balloon. I'm just going to tip it into here so that all the powders can go into my new balloon, which hopefully isn't broken. Stretch it over the rim of the bottle. Oh, there we go, it's broken again. Let's try one more time. Maybe orange will be a bit more lucky. Label it number 4. Need to be a bit more gentle, I think. And get the old balloon, the broken balloon, tip the contents in here. Now in this one there's 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda and 1 of the acid. All right, let's try this. Putting it over gently and making sure it's on nice and tight. There we go. And I think we're ready to begin. So what we're going to do now is we're going to carefully pour the contents from each balloon into the bottle. Now this is an important part because this is where you need to observe, and you're going to need to make notes. You're going to have a sheet where you can draw a diagram of each bottle, what it looks like, and what happens, what's going inside the bottle, and what happens. So let's start with bottle number 1. We have the bicarb and the acid, and I'm going to lift the contents into the bottle, and are we going to see, is there any sort of reaction? No water in there, just the bicarb and the acid, and nothing's happening. Just the powders have dropped to the bottom of the bottle and they're just staying there. Not too exciting. All right, there is a little bit of air happening in the bottle, in the balloon, which is actually quite exciting. Okay, let's do bottle number 2. This one is bicarb and water. So I have the bicarb powder in here. I'm going to tip it into the bottle with the water, and it's sort of mixed in there. Do we have any sort of reaction happening? Balloon's not puffed up. Okay, so that one's a bit uneventful. This one is looking nice. It's blown up a bit. And number 3, we have the acid and the water. So I'm going to tip the contents, tip the acid into the balloon, tip the acid into the water, and just give it a bit of a shake. And we're looking at the balloon, nothing seems to be happening there. And the final one, bicarb, acid and water. I wonder what will happen with this one. All right, here we go. Now there's a lot of powder, a lot of content, a lot of solids in this one. So I'm going to tip it in carefully. Oh, and there it goes. Oh my goodness, and it's fizzing and fizzing in the... Let me just see if I can hold that carefully so you can see just how big. The balloon is getting. So we have a great reaction happening here. You look inside, you can see there's lots of bubbles, and I wonder if you can work out what's going on in the balloon, why it's blown up so much. Have a look at bottle number 1. It's blown up a little bit. Now with all 3 ingredients, it's blown up a lot more. It's over to you now so that you can reflect on the results from this investigation, and we can work out why this balloon has blown up like it has. Happy learning!